Hey, this is David Miller with the Miller Group of Keller Williams Realty. I'm here to help you get real estate smart. All right, the new real estate stats just came out, and there are some changes that are happening in the market. Some of them are a little bit surprising, so hold tight, and I'll let you know what's going on. All right, so let's talk about inventory. So inventory is actually up a couple percentage points versus January, but that's typical because people start putting their houses back on the market during the holidays. What's interesting though is that actually inventory compared to last year is down about almost 4%. When I dig into that, what's the main culprit? Well, the main culprit is people putting their houses on the market, and not as many people are doing that. As a matter of fact, in February versus January, new listings dropped about 5%. Now that's crazy because as we get into the spring, more and more houses start hitting the market. Listen to this here, if you compare this to last year, new listings are down 11%. So let's answer the question, why is that happening? Well, there's a couple of reasons. I would say the main reason is still the lock-in effect. These are people that have the 2 to 4% interest rates, and they're like, man, I am going to hold on to that as long as I can. And I can definitely understand that. So that's preventing people, unless they have to make the move, from making the move, because if they do, it might even be more expensive to get a smaller house. Another reason is the psychology of the seller has really changed. So back during COVID, if you were a seller, you had complete reign to do whatever you want. You can price it whatever you want. You didn't have to do anything to the house. Buyers didn't have a lot of options. Well, that has changed. We're actually in a market right now of equilibrium, and that's good for everybody. That means that there's more properties for buyers to look at. And as a seller, there's going to be a lot of buyers out there. Another reason is that sellers are really wanting to time the market. I'm actually doing a workshop on this here next week. Why spring and summer is the best time to sell your house. And the reason being is that's when the most amount of buyers in the marketplace. So more buyers means more competition. More competition means you can probably get, if you have it priced right, get multiple offers and be able to sell it for more during the summer than you can any other time. And the other thing that's affecting sellers right now is the uncertainty of what's going on in the market. With what's going on in Iran right now and Venezuela and other areas, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. And whenever there's uncertainty, that puts a pause on some people on what they're wanting to do. Because if you have the certainty, you can be more confident in making those big purchase decisions like buying a house. So what about future business here? How's that looking? Well, when we look at new contracts, they're actually up 6% versus January. Why is that? Well, interest rates were dipping below 6% for the first time in quite a while, and they hung there for about 3 weeks. So that got a lot of people off the fence. They bought a house and they are taking advantage of that low rate. Now, since then, and since we started the Iran conflict, interest rates are about 6.2% right now. So I do expect that to affect the number of buyers that are hitting the market. Now, how is this affecting your price on your home? Well, the median price in February went up about 1% versus January, which is good news. However, if you compare the median price now, which is $375, versus what it was a year ago, it's actually down 3%. So if you remember last month in January, it was down 1%. So from a year-to-year perspective, pricing is going down. I don't expect it to crash or anything like that. However, the market dynamics are really causing that because of what's going on in the market that we're talking about. So here's the bottom line. Since we're in a normalized market, that is really a good place to be. That means for you as a buyer, there's more homes to look at, and you have more negotiating power. And as a seller, there's going to be a lot of buyers in the marketplace. So if you're thinking about buying or selling your home, especially if you're wanting to sell your home, this is the best time to get your house on the market. So before you get your house on the market, make sure you meet with the right realtor that can help you get your house in top showing condition. Because I know, being in the business 20 years, if your house is in top showing condition, it's going to consistently sell for more money, and that's what you're wanting to do. If there's anything we can do to help you out in the buying or selling your house, give us a call. We can definitely help you out. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe to our page here. That way you can get this information automatically. And I'd like to know your thoughts. Let us know what your thoughts on the market. What are you seeing in your neighborhood? And if you have any questions, let us know. We can help you out. Hope that you are now real estate smart.